All right, blessings, Shabbat, Shalom to you and your family too. So good to see everybody today, this morning, this beautiful morning. Today is the day that Abba Yah has made. We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. What I would like you to do right now, y'all, if you are tuned in, you guys know what I want you to do. Y'all already know. I want you to go to um, YouTube, go to Facebook. Facebook, I would like you to go to Congregation Rehoboth. Go to Congregation Rehoboth, and I would like you to thumb up the video, thumb up this video, y'all, and then share this live on your particular page. Thumb up the video and then share the live video. Go to Congregation Rehoboth, and also go to YouTube and do the same thing, guys. We want to make sure that people are able to see this video, and the more we thumb up the video and share this live, the more people have access to it. All right, super excited today about the content and lesson that we're going to get into. Can't wait to get going. Can't wait to share what we are about to hear today, y'all. Man, I'm gonna tell you right now. This lesson today, y'all, I really want to step into some content and truth that we're probably not aware of. Maybe we are. Maybe we are. But I don't want to take a chance. I want to definitely step into this lesson today with an open mind. And I want you to do the same. I want you to do the same. And I want you to look at your Bible today. I want you to look at various sources on the internet. So you're going to need to open up a page to take notes. You're going to need to open up a page that has your, hold on. It's not giving me a link. Yeah, open up a page to take notes. Open up a page that you're going to research. Open up a page. Just be ready. Just be ready to research what we're about to put down today. And then here it is. I want you to open up a page where you can fact check. Yes, fact check the things that I'm saying. I want you to do that. I want you to fact check those things that are going to be shared today. And you can do that in real time. You can do that in real time. Technology is advanced to the place where you can definitely do that in real time. And I would like you to do that. Why? Because everything that I'm saying doesn't necessarily, first of all, you may not agree. Come on and go with me. You may not agree with everything that is being shared. And so that's number one. And then number two, you want to do like the Thessalonians or the Bereans says. Paul says that the Luke, was it Luke? I believe, yeah, Luke said that the Bereans were far more noble, with character, in their desire to search truth. I think that's in Acts chapter 17. Said that they were more noble. The Bereans were more noble than the Thessalonians because they went back to check to see if those things that Paul said were actually true. And so that is my desire for you to, oh, here we go. for you today to do that. And so, yeah, I would like you to go grab pen and a pad, whatever it is that you're going to be using to take your notes, whether that, excuse me, is paper, tablet, whatever you do you. All right. And I'm just sharing this, guys. What I'm doing right now, I'm filibustering. I am sharing this on all my platforms. I'm sharing it everywhere. And then you know what I'm also doing when I share it? I'm liking it. I'm liking it. If I share it on a page of mine, I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna thumb it up. So yeah, that will be an awesome thing if you were to do that and help us with getting the word out. All right. So here we go. We're almost done. Just got a couple more places to drop this. Drop it like it is on fire. Go ahead and put some fire emojis in the chat, guys, if you have dropped it and liked it. If you've thumbed up the video and you shared this live, go ahead and put some fire emojis in the chat. Yeah. If you can't do fire emojis, go ahead and do ones. Go ahead and put some ones in there. And yeah, we're gonna get started here. There's no rush. There is no rush. I'm not gonna be 3 hours, tell you that, like I was last time. 3 hours. Woo-wee. Boy, I didn't hear no complaints. I didn't hear any anything. Not even afterwards. I didn't even hear any complaints afterwards. All right. So, all right, here we go. Here we go, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into this deal today. And we're gonna deal with, hopefully, I'm gonna try to deal with, so okay. Do you have your books, guys? Do you have a hard copy of the Apocrypha, or within the Apocrypha is the book of Maccabees? All right. Does anyone have a hard copy? If you don't, it's okay. I just wanted to know if you had a hard copy.
Yes.
Okay, if you have a hard copy, go ahead and turn to the end of chapter 5. So first, the book of First Maccabee. Go to the end of chapter 5. I'm going to put this up here on the screen. And you see what verse that is? Verse 67. Go to, if you don't have a hard copy, it's fine, because I'm going to put it on the screen. But I wanted to show you a couple things there. And yep, we're gonna get started, because I want to really deal with 3 more hidden figures. I want to deal with 3 more hidden figures. Now, I'm not going to deal with them in this order, but I do want to deal with 3 other hidden figures. Can someone tell me one hidden figure from last week? It was 3 hours long, y'all. Can someone tell me one hidden figure from last week? If you can tell me one hidden figure from last week, I will give you this book right here. This is called Nimrod, Darkness in the Cradle of Civilization. Now, this book is awesome because the Bible barely mentions Nimrod's name, but people of antiquity knew him well. They knew him, y'all. Ancient historians recorded substantial information about him. Who was Nimrod? He's very important, guys, because what I'm working on and some research that I came across is showing that Nimrod, oh my goodness, I'm going to show a little bit today, but I'm doing a deeper dive and in my research and showing that Nimrod was the father of the pharaohs in Egypt. Ooh, and I'm going to go into it tonight. Today, I'm going to go into it today. Nimrod was the father of the pharaohs. Now, if you remember, a few weeks ago, we talked about the use of the word son and the use of the word father. There's no such thing as grandfather or great grandfather. So when we say father, it could be either a father-in-law, it could be a great grandfather, a great 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 great. It could be you feel me. You remember we used and showed and proved that the use of the word father and son doesn't necessarily have to mean a for example, doesn't necessarily have to mean that I had one son. Okay. Father could refer to a generational male like Father Abraham. Come on and go with me. The father of many nations. Y'all, are y'all with me? Okay. And so Nimrod, and there are some clues, y'all. There's some evidence, not circumstantial evidence where you have to make inferences and use logic and put them together and then say this is a logical, inference that Nimrod is the father of the pharaohs. No, there is direct proof. There's direct proof, and we're going to show and prove a little bit today. We're going to show and prove. Now, this book gives those clues because this book is an account of the personal life of Nimrod. All right. And it's based on different sources. It's based on documents, ancient documents, and deals with the post-flood world that's in current day Iraq. Now, let me say something because I have this book here. It is called, and if you haven't heard of this book, y'all, you need to get it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Has anyone ever heard of this book? The Epic of Gilgamesh? The Epic of Gilgamesh. Has anyone ever heard of this book or seen this book?
No.
Oh, wait a minute. You can't see it. Can you see it? Oh, yeah, you can. The Epic of Gilgamesh. Now, in this book, y'all, it talks about the area that Nimrod lived in, which was the land, which is called the land of Shinar. It's called the land of Shinar. We're going to get to that. And this book is dealing with the flood, the flood that happened in the book of Genesis. Now, these people are not calling it the flood of Genesis, but they watch this, y'all. Look how history works. The Bible declares that there is a flood. And then watch this. If there was a worldwide flood and then people survived, and we know who survived, can someone tell us who survived?
Noah and his family.
Noah and his family. Now watch this. The people that survived inhabited the world, and guess what? They remembered through oral tradition the story of the flood, the history of the flood. So we have another nation, another group of people verifying that there was a worldwide deluge or flood. All right. And this book is called the Epic of Gilgamesh, which gives an account of the flood. And more importantly, it gives an account of the Sumerian or I would say Sumerian history. And you can get this book online. You can go right to Google and you can just type in the Epic of Gilgamesh PDF and it will give it to you. Okay.
What was the name of the first book you put up?
Oh, this one right here is called Nimrod, Darkness in the Cradle of Civilization. Nimrod, Darkness in the Cradle of Civilization. Man, I don't want to give this book up, but man, if somebody could tell me one of the hidden figures that we dealt with last week, I'm gonna give you this book. I'm gonna sign it and give it to you, because this book is going to give you insight into who Nimrod was. We all want to, I mean, we only read of him in Genesis 10, and then he's also referred to in the Tanakh. I can't remember where. I'm gonna find it though, which is very interesting. But yeah, I'll give this book up to you. It's a good read. I've only read a little bit of it, and that's why I'm gonna have to. I don't want to give it up, but I will. All right. Yeah, it's very interesting, y'all. Very interesting. Okay, can anyone tell me what was one of the hidden figures from last week? See, this is letting me know that maybe some people, I know some of y'all took notes. I know that. Did everybody take notes? I don't know. From the sound of it.
What does it mean by the hidden figures?
Those were, remember the hidden figures? Remember the movie Hidden Figures? It talked about the women who were behind the scenes that are not really talked about. And so what we did last week was we talked about who were the hidden figures in Chanukah, the people in the background that are not really talked about. All right. Or issues that are not really talked about. The hidden figures could actually be people, or they could be issues that are not really talked about. And so last week we dealt with two big issues. And then we dealt with a people group. Actually, two people groups.
The Hasidic Jews.
Yes. All right. All right. Sister, you got your book here. That means, look, brother.
I'll buy it. That's okay. You can. I'll buy it.
What's that? What was that?
I'll go ahead and buy it. That's all right. You keep it.
You sure? You sure?
I am sure.
All right. All right. All right. This is a very good book. And then I'm also going to recommend, now, this is the companion. This is the companion. Someone gave me this book. The Whitsons gave me this book. And I've been wanting this book for a minute, by Professor Kramer, Samuel Noah Kramer. And I'm going to definitely dive into this book as well. And so these two would be companion books. They would definitely go together. I would read these together. And so, yeah, actually, I would have these three together. Epic of Gilgamesh, Nimrod, and then the Sumerians, their history, culture, and character. These books go together, family. They go together. You read them together. Or say, if I were to do, excuse me, if I were to do a class, if I were to do a lecture or a class, these will be the three books that I would assign for you to purchase. Absolutely. All right. So, can anyone name another hidden figure? We got the Hasidic Jews, the original Hasidic Jews. Does anyone remember the verse that we used to get that from? I'll give you a hint. I believe it was in Leviticus, yeah? Does anyone remember?
Leviticus 24.
All right. Is she right? Is she right, guys? Is she right? Absolutely. 100%. Leviticus 24, guys, you read that Leviticus 24 And then remember the word that looked at, I would just say read 1 through 10 here. And the word that we looked at was the word Yisraeli. Ha, Sister Ben, I believe Sister Ben's got that word. Ha Yisraeli. Okay. And so we wanted to look at that. And so Israeli also was one of the words that we use. Hasidim or Hasidians, where it was in First Maccabees chapter 2 verse 41. Okay, that was the other passage there that we saw. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get right into this, y'all, and jump right in. And let me just get this together here. Okay. All right. All righty then. Okay, so that was in Leviticus 24, 1 through 10, where we talked about the Israeli. And then the Hasidic reference was in First Maccabees 2 and 41. All right. And so we're going to jump right into this joint. All right. Here we go. So we're going to listen a little bit to the book of Maccabees. This is chapter 5, the end of chapter 5, which is going to go into chapter 6, which is going to introduce the hidden figure through a military tactic that was taken by Antiochus IV. Antiochus Epiphanes used a military tactic, and we're going to look at that particular tactic. And so if you have your actual book of Maccabees opened to the end of chapter 5, verse 67, or if you're following along on the computer here, that's more than fine. Here we go. Blessings.
On their altars and burned their carved images with fire and spoiled their cities. He returned into the land of Judea. Chapter 6. About that time, King Antiochus, traveling through the high countries, heard say that Elimaeus in the country of Persia was a city greatly renowned for riches, silver, and gold, and that there was in it a very rich temple, wherein were coverings of gold and breastplates and shields, which Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian king, who reigned first among the Grecians, had left there. Wherefore he came and sought to take the city and to...
I want to mention something really quick about what he said here. He said in verse, where was it at? Where he talked about the Macedonian king. Hold on. Did I miss it? Let me go back just a little bit. Let me go back just a bit, because I want to mention something.
Chapter 6. About that time, King Antiochus, traveling through the high countries, heard say that Elimaeus in the country of Persia was a city greatly renowned for riches, silver, and gold, and that there was in it a very rich temple, wherein were coverings of gold and breastplates and shields, which Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian king, who reigned first among the Grecians, had left there.
All right. I want to mention something real quick, guys. I want you to, this is a geographic note. It's a geographical note. All right. So I want you to go ahead and write that down. This is a geographic note. And I want to show you something, guys, because look, listen, in this field of study, you can't just read your Bible. Come on, y'all. You can't just read your Bible. If you want to get all of its worth, I want to show you something real quick that is very interesting to me. And it is a geographic hidden figure. Come on and go with me. It's a geographic hidden figure that I want to show you because he mentions something here that could have just slipped by us. All right. It could have just, slipped by us a little bit. And I don't want it to. So what am I going to call this? A geographic hidden figure. Okay. You may want to write that down. Geographic hidden figure. Okay. So again, hidden figures are, we know what hidden figures are. We talked about it last week. Hidden Figures, not the movie, but the movie is definitely important to get an understanding of what we mean today by hidden figure. And so a hidden figure, excuse me, it's something that's behind the scenes. Okay, it's something that's not in the foreground, but it's in the background. It's someone actually who is working behind the scenes. They don't have a face. They could be considered the mastermind, but their light is not shown on them or shown on the issue. And so it's a hidden figure. It's something that, could be brought to bear or brought to light. And many times these things or these hidden figures are not. And so we want to look at what the actual understanding is. All right. So it's something that's not obvious, something that could be, hidden from our sight. All right. So I want to show you something. The text, look at this text in verse. I just had it. Where'd it go? Okay, hold on. I got to go back a little bit. There we are. Verse 2. So first Maccabees, I want you to write this down, guys. First Maccabees, chapter 6. First Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 2. That's going to be our hidden figure. Okay. Notice what it says on the screen here. And that there was in it a very rich temple, wherein were coverings of gold and breastplates and shields, which Alexander, son of Philip, look at this, guys. Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian king, who reigned first among the Grecians. So we're talking about Alexander here, who is the son of Philip, and he was the Macedonian king, but he reigned first in Greece. Do you guys see that? I want you to see that distinction. Now watch this. I want to show you something. Okay. I want to show you. Oh, look at this. Look at this, y'all. Look at where Greece is. Greece is all this in the yellow. All this yellow part is considered to be Greece. But Macedonia, look where Macedonia is. Because it says here, the text says in verse 2, and that there was in it a very rich temple, wherein were coverings of gold and breastplates and shields, which Alexander, son of Philip, look at where Macedonia is, because he was the Macedonian king who reigned first in Greece. Now, that's a very important distinction because he was from Macedonia. However, can someone tell me what is the modern day Macedonia? What's the modern day? What country is the modern day Macedonia? This is very important. Oh, I stumbled on this one. Oh, I stumbled on this. Yep. Stumble. Does anyone know? Does anyone want to guess? Although it's in the region of Greece, what is the modern day country?
It says Serbia here.
Okay. Okay, we're getting warm. We're getting warm over here. I want you to look at the area on my presentation. Look at the area. You see Albania, Kosovo, Bulgaria, Serbia. Didn't they have wars in these areas?
Is it Greece?
It's not Greece. Greece is so Macedonia and Greece were two separate nations of people. Although they're in the same region, two different nations. It's just like if you look at Texas and Mexico, they're in the same region, the southwestern region, but two different nations. Two different nations there. You see? What is modern day Macedonia? I just want to see if y'all know. I know it. I did the research, but I want to see if y'all know it.
I'm Googling it, but it just pulls up Macedonia and Greece.
That's it. It doesn't say anything about Albania. No Albania, no Serbia, no Kosovo.
It says Republic of North Macedonia.
Yeah, that's what it says for me too.
Really? Okay, so Macedonia, watch this. I'm going to show you this. Macedonia is a small kingdom in northern Greece, established a growing empire from 359 to 323. Alexander the Greek. They call him Alexander the Greek, but there is a case to argue that he's Albanian because Macedonia is modern day Albania. Through the reign of several kings with Alexander the Great, Macedonia would come to conquer many lands and usher in the Hellenistic age in the region. Notice what it says. Macedonia would come to conquer many lands and usher in the Hellenistic age in the region. Not Greece, I should say. Here they call him a Greek ruler. Loosely united civilization founded in around Peloponnese Peninsula, lasting from about the 8th century to about 200. Okay. This is very interesting here. And so what I would want to know is Macedonia modern day? The reason why I'm going through this with a fine-tooth comb is because there are people that will argue that it is. Okay. Maybe that could be a homework assignment. Something that, you look up, something that, you search out. Because it's really, because the people of Albania today, they claim that Alexander is their ancestor. But I want you to look at that region on my lesson and show you that Macedonia is close to Albania, Bulgaria, Kosovo, all these areas here. And in our lesson, in the book of Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 2, it doesn't say, listen carefully, and that there was in it a very rich temple wherein were coverings of gold and breastplates and shields, which Alexander, son of Philip, they called him a Macedonian, not a Greek. But it says that he first reigned among the Greeks. Okay? I want you to be clear about that. All right, let's keep going.
Countries, who would say that Elimaeus in the country of Persia was a city greatly renowned for riches, silver, and gold, and that there was in it a very rich temple, wherein were coverings of gold and breastplates and shields, which Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian king, who reigned first among the Grecians, had left there. Wherefore he came and sought to take the city and to spoil it. But he was not able, because they of the city, having had warning thereof, rose up against him in battle. So he fled, and departed thence with great heaviness, and returned to Babylon. Moreover, there came one who brought him tidings into Persia, that the armies which went against the land of Judea were put to flight, and that Lysias, who went forth first with a great power, was driven away of the Jews, and that they were made strong by the armor and power and store of spoils which they had gotten of the armies whom they had destroyed. Also that they had pulled down the abomination which he had set up upon the altar in Jerusalem, and that they had compassed about the sanctuary with high walls as before, and his city Bethsura. Now when the king heard these words, he was astonished, and sore moved. Whereupon he laid him down upon his bed, and fell sick for grief, because it had not befallen him as he looked for. And there he continued many days, for his grief was ever more and more, and he made account that he should die. Wherefore he called for all his friends, and said unto them, The sleep is gone from mine eyes, and my heart faileth for very care. And I thought with myself, Into what tribulation am I come, and how great a flood of misery is it wherein now I am? For I was bountiful and beloved in my power. But now I remember the evils that I did at Jerusalem, and that I took all the vessels of gold and silver that were therein, and sent to destroy the inhabitants of Judea without a cause. I perceive, therefore, that for this cause these troubles are come upon me. And behold, I perish through great grief in a strange land. Then called he for Philip, one of his friends, who he'd made ruler over all his realm, and gave him the crown and his robe and his signet, to the end he should bring up his son Antiochus, and nourish him up for the kingdom. So King Antiochus died there in the 149th year. Now, when Lysias knew that the king was dead, he set up Antiochus his son, whom he had brought up, being young, to reign in his stead, and his name he called Eupator.
Notion has been the centerpiece of my workflow. I can take notes, create folders, manage.
About this time, they that were in the tower shut up the Israelites round about the sanctuary, and sought always their hurt and the strengthening of the heathen. Wherefore Judas, purposing to destroy them, called all the people together to besiege them. So they came together and besieged them in the 150th year. And he made mounts for shot against them, and other engines. Howbeit certain of them that were besieged got forth, unto whom some ungodly men of Israel joined themselves. And they went unto the king, and said, How long will it be ere thou execute judgment, and avenge our brethren? We have been willing to serve thy father, and to do as he would have us, and to obey his commandments, for which cause they of our nation besiege the tower, and are alienated from us. Moreover, as many of us as they could light on, they slew, and spoiled our inheritance. Neither have they stretched out their hand against us only, but also against their borders. And behold, this day are they besieging the tower at Jerusalem to take it, the sanctuary also, and Bethsura have they fortified. Wherefore, if thou dost not prevent them quickly, they will do the greater things than these, neither shalt thou be able to rule them. Now when the king heard this, he was angry, and gathered together all his friends, and the captains of his army, and those that had charge of the horse. There came also unto him from other kingdoms, and from isles of the sea, bands of hired soldiers, so that the number of his army was 100,000 footmen, and 20,000 horsemen, and 32 elephants, exercised in battle. These went through Idumea, and pitched against Bethsura, which they assaulted many days, making engines of war. But they of Bethsura came out, and burned them with fire, and fought valiantly. Upon this Judas removed from the tower, and pitched in Bath Zacharias, over against the king's camp. Then the king, rising very early, marched fiercely with his host towards Bath Zacharias, where his armies made them ready to battle, and sounded the trumpets. And to the end they might provoke the elephants to fight, they showed them the blood of grapes and mulberries. Moreover, they divided the beasts among the armies. And for every elephant they appointed 1,000 men, armed with coats of mail and with helmets of brass on their heads. And beside this, for every beast were ordained 500 horsemen of the best.
All right, I want to bring out something here because it's showing you military tactics. And one of the military tactics that is being used here is the use of animals, specifically elephants. Elephants. How many elephants did they say were being used? Does anyone remember? It said 20 and 3. And then it said, for every elephant, in verse 35, for every elephant, they appointed 1,000 men. So how many men were there at least? 23,000. 23,000 men along with 23 elephants. All right. Now watch what verse 34 says. And to the end, they might provoke the elephants to fight by getting them drunk. Look what the text says. They showed them the blood of grapes and mulberries. And so you have imagine this, you have these elephants, these 23 elephants that are eating an abundant amount of grapes and mulberries. And it said the blood of grapes. They showed them the blood of grapes. And so possibly these grapes were crushed. Possibly these grapes had been fermenting. And we know that if certain fruits ferment, specifically grapes, there is an alcoholic effect. There is an effect that will create alcohol, a natural alcohol. And so these elephants were eating these grapes and mulberries, and I would dare to say that they were drunk elephants. Come on, y'all. Come on to go with me here. Y'all know how we get. The best way, some people, when they get drunk, they want to fight. And I would say they call it truth syrup, a cup of courage. Okay, people got to get drunk to do they deeds. People got to get drunk. They got to get high to do their bad deeds. Some people do. Look, come on, y'all. Y'all act like, come on, nobody ain't saying nothing. Does anybody know anybody that in order to do their dirt, they got to get drunk? Just like these elephants who, in order to besiege the Israelites, they got these elephants drunk, thinking that they might fight. That's what the text says here. And if you go back a little bit, it will tell you, let's see. Oh, yes. Okay. So we can see here that they got these elephants drunk. My question to you guys is this. Where did they get this idea from in the first place to use elephants? Was this the first time? Because we do know that there are various military tactics that can be learned. There are whole military schools, you guys, that study all of the successful wars, and every military general has to study every single military ruler. Why? In order to learn how to fight and do battle. All right. And so where did, best believe in our military schools today, can anyone name a military school that we send soldiers to in the United States? It's in Washington. Does anyone know it? Know that famous military academy?
I don't.
It's you guys have heard of it. Once I say it, you'll know it. It's the U.S. Naval Academy. All right. And so these naval academies, they have classes where, they study all different kinds of wars that have taken place throughout world history. All right. And so, can I tell you that there was a man? And so, one of the hidden figures we're dealing with today is a military leader. And this military leader gave the idea to Antiochus military to use elephants in battle. Now, remember, when this happened, the text says it was about 150 BC. And so 90 years before this battle, there was a man by the name of Hannibal Barca. All right. Hannibal Barca was one of the greatest military minds in this time period. Now, notice Hannibal was born in 247 BC. Notice he was born in 247 BC. All right. And so remember, we're counting down. We're counting down when we talk about BC. And if we talk about the war that Antiochus' military used against Israel and all the other nations he conquered, we know that was about 150 BC. How many years is that? So if you take 247 minus 150, how many years is that, guys? Come on, y'all. This is a discussion. We're going to have a discussion here. $247 BC. And I want you to minus that by 150. What do we got? How many years is that?
You saying take 150 from 247?
Yep. How many years we got?
Uh, 97.
All right. We got 97 years, right? When Hannibal was born. That's when Hannibal was born, though. So watch this. Hannibal was involved in what is called the Punic Wars. Punic, how many of you guys have heard of that before? The Punic Wars, which lasted from about, I would say, 264 BC. I want to get this right. 264 BC to 146 BC. Now remember, but Antiochus' army said that they came and used these elephants at about 150 BC. And so guess what? That's right in between the Punic Wars. Now, what happened with Hannibal during the Punic Wars? He was the first military leader to use elephants in battle. So where did Hannibal get the use, where did Antiochus' army get the use of horses from? Got it from Hannibal. Okay. Hannibal was a brilliant military leader, y'all. He was a brilliant military leader. And I do want to tell you this. Let me show you something real quick, because there are a lot of people that will say that Hannibal was a white man. Look at these images. Hold on.
Oh no.
What was that? Look at these
I
images.
said, oh no, he was not.
Oh no. Look at all these images of these elephants that's being used in the Punic Wars, which were almost 90 years before Antiochus' army used elephants. Because we know that even today, guys, Hannibal from Carthage is one of the military leaders in our history, in world history, who is studied on military tactics. Militaries today use Hannibal's tactic of using elephants. Look at this image right here. Let me show you this one. I'm going to show this image to you guys. I just think it's very interesting. Watch this. I'm going to show this image right here to you. Okay. Now, you may think this is boring, but let me tell you this. I'm making a case right now. I'm building evidence and showing and proving something. Look at the use of these elephants, y'all. Look at these men fleeing. Look at how large these elephants are compared to these soldiers down here. This is what happened during Hannibal's, or Hannibal, his wars during what is called the Punic Wars. Now, the Punic Wars, if you look on this map, Carthage is right here in this orange. Can you guys see my my mouse circling right here? Okay, so you see Mediterranean Sea here in the middle. If you go to the right, down towards the right, you see Carthage right here. Okay, Hannibal and the Punic Wars, guys, took over this entire area, all of northern Africa. He started, so watch this. Carthage is in Africa. Come on, guys. How could he be? Look, listen, this is all the way back in 264 BC. And we know the first European, to enter into Africa was in the 300s with Alexander. So 90 70 to 90 years prior was the first Europeans to enter into Africa. Carthage was already there, you guys. It was already there. And I'm going to show and prove today that Hannibal or Hannibal was a Hamite. Did y'all write that down? There's the first hidden figure that we're going to show and prove who was a so-called black man was Hannibal or Hannibal. He was a Hamite. Oh, yes. So he started here in Carthage, which is northern Africa, Libya area. And he ruled this entire area around the Pyrenees. As a matter of fact, if you look over here in the Pyrenees and the Alps, this is his path where he took the elephants all the way up. Now, if you know anything about wars, the Punic Wars were fought during the winter time as well. And hold on, let me show you this one. Nobody said, hey, Pastor, can you change it? Look at this map here. Are you guys engaged? Because I asked a question, can you guys see my mouse? No one said anything. Then I said, can you see Carthage? Can you see the Mediterranean? No one said anything.
Yes.
But I wasn't even showing the I wasn't showing the right image. All right, y'all, let's wake up. I'm not gonna be 3 hours, but if y'all quiet on me, I'm gonna go. Y'all gonna make me think y'all sleeping. So look at this map. See where the Mediterranean Sea is right in the middle. Then if you go down to the right, you see Carthage in the orange right here. This is where Hannibal was from, northeastern Africa. He took horses all the way over here to the left of the Mediterranean Sea, this red line, which goes all the way up through Spain, France, the Pyrenees Mountains, the Alps. Okay? All of these areas is where he took horses. I'm sorry, not horses, but elephants. Okay?
He took the elephants there for the purpose
of destroying the Roman and Greek militaries. What I would do, guys, I would look at and study the Punic Wars to find out what and who Hannibal did, what he did, and who he did it to during the Punic Wars. That will be a good. I'm just going to give an overview though, because it's too lengthy to deal with today. But the Punic Wars, it was a series of 3 different wars, guys, fought between the Roman Republic. Remember the Roman Republic was the nation that had Antiochus' father locked up. Remember we read that in Maccabees chapter 1?
yes.
Okay, and so no one wanted to mess with the Roman Republic. They were on the rise. And remember, after the Greek Empire, the Bible and also history shows that the next nation in line to lead and rule were the Romans. But when they were on the come up, come on and go with me. When the Romans were on the come up, oh, they were nothing to play with. They were nothing to play with. And so these Punic Wars were a series of 3 different wars fought between the Roman Empire and the Carthaginian Empire, where Hannibal ruled. And guess who won, y'all? Hannibal. Hannibal won these wars with his power, with his military genius, and with the strategic use of elephants in battle. Does that answer your question, sister?
Yes, it does. I'm wondering what his interaction, if he interacted with the Israelites during any of their wars.
Oh, now this was prior to the Greek invasion, because remember, this was in 240. The Punic Wars, yeah, were in 264. And so let me show you really quick though, because I want to show you something about Hannibal. So go ahead and write Hannibal in your notes. Hannibal Barca. I'm going to give you a little bit. He was born in 247 BC. That's the first thing you're going to write. In Carthage. That's the second thing. And all of this I'm highlighting right here. I'm highlighting. And I'll make it large. Okay. Born in 247. Okay. That's the first thing. Born in 247. In the city of Carthage, which I just showed you on this map. Now watch this. Please write this down. It's in modern day Tunisia.
Oh, okay.
Ooh-wee. Now, where is Tunisia? What country is Tunisia in?
It's North Africa.
Come on, y'all. So I'm making my case here. You see me? You see me making my case, y'all? I'm showing and proving my claim that Tunisia, that Hannibal was a black man. We got geography as one of our witnesses testifying to the fact. And I want to show you on I want to show you this, guys. See, people be playing. I'm a researcher. Look, y'all know what we do here. Modern day Tunisia, like Sister Ben said. Look at where Libya is. So Tunisia is northwest of Libya. It's right here. This is where Hannibal was from. It's modern day Carthage.
What were the dates on the rise of Greek again? Because I guess you said that Hannibal fought against the Romans and the Greeks, correct?
Hannibal fought against the Romans.
The Romans. Okay.
Yes.
So what's the I don't know. I see you gave us the dates for the rise of the of Hannibal, which is 264.
Well, that
BC.
was when the Punic Wars. So the Punic
Right.
Wars were 264 to 146 BC.
Right.
And
then
so Hannibal was
Mhm.
born in 247.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're counting down 264, the Punic Wars had already started.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then Hannibal was born in 247. Remember, the Punic Wars were from 264 to 146. So Hannibal was born in 247, a few years after. So 47, that's 17 years after the Punic War started. So Hannibal was around, let's see, how old was Hannibal when he led? Let's find that out. That's a good question. How old was Hannibal leading Carthage. How old was he? He was 26 years old. So this is what we do. If he was born in 240, right? If he was born in 247, just add 26. Count down. So you got a minus 240. So you got a minus 26 from 247. What do you get? 221. No. He was 221. So from 221 BC, so Hannibal was 26 years old when he started commanding the Carthage Empire. Okay, and it says it in 221 BC. Okay, and in 221 BC, the leader that started the Punic Wars for Carthage, he died. He was assassinated, and it was unanimous. It was a unanimous vote that they chose Hannibal or Hannibal at 26 years old in 221 BC to continue the Punic Wars. Are y'all writing this down?
And during the Punic Wars, he fought Rome, correct?
Yes. Now Hannibal died, so he was born in 247, and he died between 181 and 180. Hold on. 183 to 181 BC. So, see, he was around 60 some years old. Okay. So the Punic Wars lasted until 146. So he died and someone took over for him in Carthage, because remember, 146 comes later because it's a countdown. BC is you're counting down. AD, we're counting up. Okay, 16th century, 17th century, 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, 2000s. BC, you're counting down. AD, you're counting up. Okay. And so Hannibal was 26 years old when he took over the military. So in 221 BC, Hannibal began leading the Carthaginian military. Then died in 183 to 181 BC. Okay? This is huge, y'all. This is huge. Now, I've already shown you that Hannibal I gave you one proof that he was a black man. What was that proof, y'all? What proof did I give you?
He was born in Africa in Carthage.
Okay. Absolutely. Now, let me give you another one, because you got to have at least 2 or 3 witnesses to establish every matter. Come on and go with me here. Let me give you another proof. Because if the proof is in the pudding, we're going to dig it out. Let's dig. So I showed you the military. Okay, here we go. Okay.
What's the difference?
All right. I'm about to tell you here. Did y'all see what I just wrote? Phoenicians, let me make it larger. Phoenicians, okay, so here it is. Here it is. Here's the second proof. Not only was Hannibal from Carthage, which is modern day Tunisia, which is in Africa, but Hannibal was a descendant. Here's a second one. Please write this down. Hannibal was a descendant of the Phoenicians. Hoo-wee! He was a descendant of the Phoenicians. I'm going to write it down right here. Hannibal was a descendant of the Phoenicians. Okay. Now, Phoenicians were a Semitic, not Shemitic. Semitic is dealing with language. Come on, even go with me here. Shemitic is dealing with nationality. Oh my goodness. Y'all get, I want y'all to see this now. Please write this down. This is some serious note taking that is going to be very helpful to our understanding of the hidden figures in Chanukah. Hannibal was a descendant of the Phoenicians. Now, I got to show and prove that. But now watch this. Phoenicia. Let me write this down. Phoenicia was. Okay. Phoenicia can you guys see that? Was a civilization that originated in the region of modern day Lebanon. Ooh-wee. All right. Are y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? All right. I'm going to show you. Y'all ready? Let me show and prove. Okay. I'm coming. I'm coming, y'all. Here I
But
come.
it doesn't say that the Phoenicians were African.
Ho, 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 ho. I'm about to show it. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. So here's Lebanon in orange. Phoenicia is modern day Lebanon. Y'all. You can look that up. You can go Google that right now to show and prove. As a matter of fact, let me show you a different map here because I want to make sure that you can see this clearly. show you another map. Let me show you something. Oh, yes. Let's look at this one. Let me center this one so we can get it. All right, let's get this in, y'all. So we have Phoenicia. Look at this area, all in green. That's modern day, close to Israel. All this area is called the Levant. Okay? Look at these two areas here, Tyre and Sidon. We're going to get to that. Look at these names, y'all. Byblos. Look at these names. Lebanon is right here. Tripoli or Tripolis. Look at this. All in the Mediterranean. Okay? You got Israel down here. Ashkelon, Jaffa, Jerusalem right here, Jordan. Look at all this. The Gaza Strip. All of this is considered Phoenicia. Y'all ready? Phoenicians were known as skilled sailors. Why? Because they lived close to the Mediterranean, but also traders. You know what that means, guys? They were skilled sailors and traders. That meant that they were wealthy and they spoke different languages. Come on and go with me here. Are y'all writing this down? This is why, look at this. This is why, notice I said they were skilled sailors and traders. That meant they were wealthy and they spoke different languages. Here, now watch this. Hannibal's family, the Barcas, were part of the Carthaginian nobility. Come on, God. Come on, y'all. And of Phoenician descent. Now, you guys can look this up. You guys can go ahead on research and look this up. His father, Hamilcar Barca, was a leading Carthaginian general and statesman. So you know that Hannibal, because his father was a general, you know his father passed on to him information about warfare. Now watch this. Hannibal likely spoke and wrote Phoenician, which was his first language. What is Phoenician, y'all? Are y'all writing this down? He also spoke Greek and Latin. Those are the languages that I took, that I studied and still study. Later, as an educated Carthaginian, look at this, he was an aristocrat. So he was wealthy. Hannibal was wealthy. He was smart. He was intelligent. And he can whoop some butt. Don't listen. Don't get it twisted. Don't you ever get this thing twisted that people who are smart and nerds and bookworms, that we punks and pushovers. Don't you get that twisted. Look, I may not be the best fighter, but if you get in a fight with me, you're gonna know you was in a fight. Come on and go with me here. Plus, I believe that my ancestors was the Levites. I don't know, but I'm just, when I bring out the ferociousness of the Levites, look at what Phineas did. Phineas was a descendant of the Levite, and what did he do? He spear chucked. And then Matityahu did the same thing. They were Levites. Don't get it twisted. Don't you ever get this thing twisted thinking that because I love books that I won't whoop that butt if need be. Oh yes. Don't I ain't no killer, but if you push me, I'm gonna protect the crib. I don't tote no guns or none of that. So if you're gonna bring a gun to the fight, then you're gonna have to go out the punk way and win. But if you want to knuckle up, let's go. Let's go. Oh, somebody sending things to the chat. Oh yes. It's languages, yes, Semitic. So yes. When you say Semitic, that is a language distinction. Semitic is a nation or group of people group, a people group. Now let me get back to the lecture at hand, because we're dealing with language. Ancient records show that Hannibal spoke and negotiated with local tribes during his famous crossing of the Alps using interpreters. Oh, that's deep, y'all.
There was 2 pictures. Can you look at them both? You can share if you like.
Okay, let me see. Let me see this other one. Sorry. Thank you, researcher. My researcher. She's a teacher. Yes, she is. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this pulled down from. Hold on. That may be. Let me see if I can do it. Okay, so if I download it. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can get it here now. Okay, guys, I'm gonna try to show you this picture. Thank you, Sister Benz, for your help and assistance. You are awesome. So downloads.
You could copy and paste too.
Can I do that? Let me see. Bear with me, guys. Okay, hold on. Let me try this one more time. All right, let me see if I can do that. Oh, duh. Here we go. I don't know what I was thinking. I know what to do. I wasn't thinking. Okay. Guys, I'm sorry. Bear with me. I'm going to have this in just 1 second up for you. I had to put my thinking cap on. Okay, guys, I'm going to have this 1 second. Please bear with me. I'm just barely dealing with the military leader. I haven't even dealt with the menorah and the mother. But I'm going to have to get to them. because I'm really trying to. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go, y'all. Hold on. Okay. Tell me when y'all can see it. Can y'all see that picture that I just posted? Let me refresh my screen. Oh, there we go. Let me center this. Can y'all see the Phoenician language here all the way to the left? And then if you go across, you can see the transliteration, and then the Hebrew, the Greek, and then the Latin. So I'm about to show y'all something. It's going to be deep, what I'm about to say. It's going to be deep, what I'm about to say. Let me say this, because I want to get ready for this. Hold on. Let me clear my nose. Hold on. This language, Phoenician, which is an African language, is the mother or maybe father of all Western languages. Look at this: Hebrew, Arabic, Greece, Latin. And guess what came from those, y'all? English. Oh my goodness. Come on and go with me. Here's another one. Proto-Semitic language. Okay? Look at all these languages that are Semitic. They come from a Semitic base, all of these languages. And if you look down here at the bottom, okay, Canaanite, Ugaritic, Aramaic, Phoenician, Hebrew, Moabite, Ammonite, Edomite, Punic. Oh, we're going to get to this. Okay? So that was good information to show and prove that. Let me finish showing this, though. Hannibal negotiated with local tribes during his famous crossing of the Alps with the elephants, with military elephants using interpreters. This suggests, y'all, he did not initially speak Celtic languages of the Alpine tribes. Come on and go with me. That's huge. Now, I have a source documenting the rise. Watch this. This source right here, Polybius, which is better known as Herodotus. I'm going to go with me here. The book called The Histories is a history documenting the rise of the Roman Empire in the Mediterranean in the 3rd and 2nd century. That means 200s and 100s. Okay, centuries BC. So during the 200s and the 100s, this is when the Roman Empire began to rise. Remember, the Punic Wars was in 264 to 146. So that's right in this rise of the Roman Empire. Okay. But I want to deal with something real quick. It talks about this source. Well, let's go to the source, y'all. Let's go to the source. Let's go to the source. Hold on, let me make sure I got the source first. I know I put it somewhere in here. Okay. It's coming. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I'm just okay. What did I do with my source, man? Oh, here it goes. See, we're all the way down here. Let me show you the source. I put my source in the wrong place. Let me fix that. Here we go. Bow. All right, here's the source. Herodotus, the Histories, Book 1, Chapter 2, Verse 1. Watch this. Watch this. Here's my source, Herodotus. Let's read this. We're going to read this part right here. The Persians, learned men, say that the Phoenicians, which Hannibal was a descendant, West Point, thank you. Thank you, D3. Dub drop 79. Appreciate it. It was West Point. That was that military academy that's famous in Washington, D.C., that studies all military leaders in world history. Why? To learn from them, to find out what tactics they use. Guess what? Hannibal is one of the military leaders that is still studied today. All right. Thank you. D3 dub drop 79. All right. So let's go back to this source. Herodotus confirming not only that Hannibal was a Phoenician, but let's check it out. Let's see what it says here. The Persian learned men say that the Phoenicians were the cause of the dispute. These, they say, came to our seas from the sea, which is called Red, and having settled in the country which they still occupy, at once began to make long voyages, among other places, to which they carried Egyptian and Assyrian merchandise. So watch this. They had to speak, the Phoenicians had to know Meduneter. That's what the Egyptians spoke. And also they had to speak, baby, what language is, we were looking at it. It's the Sumerian language. What is it called again? You remember you showed me a anyway, they carried merchandise to Egypt and Assyria, they came to Argos, which was at the time preeminent in every way among the people of what is now called Hellas. Oh, we got to study that. The Phoenicians came to Argos and set out their cargo. On the 5th and 6th day after their arrival, when their wares were almost all sold, many women came to the shore, and among them, especially the daughter of the king, whose name was Io, not Captain Io. According to the Persians and Greeks alike, the daughter of Inachus. As these stood about the stern of the ship, bargaining for wares they liked, the Phoenicians incited one another to set upon them. Excuse me. Most of the women escaped. Io and others were seized and thrown into the ship, which they sailed away for Egypt. Now, what I wanted to pull out of this Herodotus piece is the fact that it confirms that the Phoenicians were a powerful group that was a military group that came from North Africa, and Herodotus was indeed a Phoenician. Now let me show and prove even further. Not only do we show the language of the Phoenicians, now I'm going to show you that he was Semitic. Now, remember we said that Hannibal, when he crossed the Alps, he did not speak the Celtic languages. Now, when I say Celtic, this is what we're talking about right here. Gaulish. This was spoken by Celtic tribes living in what is now southern France. So remember that map we showed you of Herodotus, his path. Look at this. Look at this red line here. See this red line by Spain, south east of Spain, this red line.
We don't see anything.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. See Spain right here to the left. Incidentally, this orange area right here is Portugal, where my ancestry goes back to through my father's Y line. But this red line goes through the Pyrenees Mountains, which is in France. It goes through the Alps. Or wait, is the Pyrenees, are they in Spain? Anyway. Goes through the Pyrenees, it goes through the Alps. Yeah, they go from Spain, the Pyrenees are in Spain, to the Alps, which is in France. Now, the text tells us this, y'all, that when not Herodotus, but Hannibal, because he was a Phoenician and he spoke a Semitic language, when he went through these areas, it said that he needed an interpreter. Why? Because here it is. Ancient records show that Hannibal spoke and negotiated with local tribes during his famous crossing of the Alps with military elephants using interpreters. Why did he need interpreters? Because he didn't speak these languages. What languages are those, Pastor Benz? the Celtic languages. During Hannibal time, during the time of Hannibal, the Celtic languages are right here. Gaulish, which is a Celtic language spoken in southern France and northern Italy. Tribes like the Turini and Selassie would have spoken Gaulish. Lepontic, the ancestor of Gaulish language spoken specifically in northern Italy, Switzerland, and southern Germany. Cisalpine Celtic refers to other closely related Celtic dialects spoken in northern Italy by tribes such as the Boii in Cerberus, Cenomani, and Ligones. English, come on and go with me, was not even around at the time. It's a West Germanic language that originated. Now I'm going to get into this. In Goinic languages brought, this should be, that V shouldn't be there. In Gaelic languages brought to Britain in the 5th to 7th century AD. English, 5th and 7th century AD. Listen, guys, before English was even a language, so-called black men were speaking Hebrew. We're speaking Phoenician. Okay? I wanted to throw this in here because the English language originated from the, look at this, guys, I think I spelled that wrong. Hold on. Oh, that was right? Oh. So the Gaelic languages brought to Britain mid-5th to 7th centuries AD by Anglo-Saxon migrants from what is now northwest Germany, southern Denmark, and the Netherlands. So look at this, guys. English is a mixture of these northwestern Germanic, southern Denmark, and Netherlands languages. Now, so you can see this. Old English, they're just telling you the origin. Old English, Frisian, and Old Saxon. Okay. These are all Celtic languages. And Hannibal did not speak any of these languages. This is why he needed an interpreter when he conquered all of the Roman area, or the Roman region, or I should say the European region. Phoenician, however, is a Semitic language of Northwestern group spoken in ancient times on the coast of the Levant and in Tyre, Sidon, Byblos, and neighboring towns. Watch this. And in other areas of the Mediterranean, colonized by the Phoenicians. Remember, we showed the map. Now I want to show you this coast of the Levant where Phoenician was spoken. Remember, I showed you this map right here. Phoenicia. Look at this. Byblos, Beirut, Sidon, Tyre. All the areas that we had already mentioned. This gets deeper. Let me rush through. Now I want to show something. And I want to ask the question. We know that Phoenician is the ancestor of the Greek alphabet and all Western alphabets. We just showed you. Sister Benz just sent this document right here. Okay, especially this one to the left. This one over here to the left shows you, excuse me, all the way to the left is
It's the Phoenician alphabet and the similarities to Hebrew, Arab, Greek, and Latin alphabets.
thank you, baby. Thank you. Now watch this. We just said that Phoenician was basically what Sister Ben said was Phoenician is the ancestor or the father of the Greek alphabet and all Western alphabets. So I want to prove that the Phoenician were a melanated people. See, we can't just say that. Got to prove it. What do I mean by melanated people? They were black. Okay. Let's look at a map. So in the orange, we have Shem, the descendants of Shem. In the blue, we have the descendants of Japheth. And in the green, we have the descendants of Ham. Now, by the way, incidentally, when we talk about Shem, Ham, and Japheth, I'm going to show you some things about Ham. Okay, I'm going to show you some very interesting things about Ham.
There's another map in our group chat as well.
Okay. Excuse me. I want you to just look at this map real quick, though. Is it big enough? Can you guys see it? Pardon me about my I got the hiccups.
Yes.
Just look at the just study this map real quick. Because I really want you to see it. Because when I get ready to talk about it, what do you notice? Okay.
Say again.
The Ham languages were in Canaan, Egypt, and Africa.
You see that? Notice Canaan. Notice why it says Canaan and not Israel. It became the land of Israel. It became the promised land. But prior to that, it was Canaan, which is where Hamites migrated to. Oh, notice I said migrated. They migrated there.
So how did they get to this? How did they surmise that Hannibal was not African? Is it because the Greeks took over parts of Africa?
And they rewrote history to show their dominance. But what we're doing today, we're taking it back today to December, what is it, 16th? We're taking it back. We're showing and proving. Yep, I'm proving it today. I'm proving it right now. So now watch this. Now, let's go to this map because I want you to see this one. Look at the purple. The purple is all Ham. Look at our key down here. Red is Shem, purple is Ham, green is Japheth. Look at Ham, guys. Look at all this area. Now remember, excuse me, look where it says Cash. Look right above Libya. You see where Libya is? Put Libya, Mizraim, which is Egypt. Cush is Ethiopia. Or when we say Cush, what we're referring to is Nubia. Oh, come on and go with me here. And incidentally, Cushites are responsible for establishing the people who live, I would dare to say, Egypt. So Ethiopian culture played a part in establishing this land of Egypt, or what we now know as Kemet. But that's another topic for a different story. But what I want to look at is, notice Ham is over here, right? Notice where Cain is. Canaan is over here. You guys see where Canaan is? In the purple?
Yes.
You see all these Hamites, all these Africans. Come on and go with me, y'all. All these so-called black folk. All of these melanated people. Come on and go with me. Now watch this. See where it says Shem in the red here on this continent, Saudi Arabia?
Yes.
Go up, go north, go up a little bit until you see Babel in blue. You see where that is? What do you know about Babel? What do you know about Babel from the Bible?
They built
Tower
it.
of Babel. Tower of Babel.
Yep, Tower of Babel.
The Tower of Babel was built high. They was thinking highly of themselves, so he jumbled their languages
Yes.
so that they couldn't work together anymore.
And that's why you see the descendants of Shem and Japheth. Notice these arrows that are coming from Babel. They spread out. This is deep. Because what this is saying, guys, is that there was a civilization in Babel, or current day Babylon, the land of Shinar. I'm going to show you where Nimrod, notice where Nimrod is up here. To the right, northeast of Babel, or to the right and go up. See that purple Nimrod right there?
Yes.
I want to share this with you. When this was taking place, all of these people look the same. Come on and go with me, y'all. Come on and go with me here. Look at Japheth. All this green. When Japheth left Babel and migrated to northern Europe into colder regions, you can do biological studies that show and prove that melanin will not remain. if you are in colder climates. In other words, your skin color will change because you're not getting enough vitamin D, which is a hormone from the sun.
Amen.
Come on and go with me here, somebody. So we can say that modern day Homo sapiens are black, so-called black, from the land of Africa. My goodness. Who migrated from Babel to these different areas. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now let's go to the Bible now. Let's go to the Bible.
Is that, I have a question.
Yes.
If you go back to that map in that picture where Babel is,
Right here, yep.
it's also near the two rivers that we discussed in the previous lesson, right? In between the two rivers. Genesis. Let's go.
Okay. See, that's an awesome point to bring out. And if you look right here, it says Assyria in this map above Babel. You see that little ship, that little boat? Whose boat is that?
Noah?
Why would they put that boat right there?
That's where he landed.
Okay. All right. Now we're gonna have to show and prove. This is interesting. This is interesting. Now let me move on. Let's go to Genesis chapter 10. Because we're gonna look at some things, y'all. Genesis 10. Are y'all with me? And let's start in verse 6. Genesis 10 and verse 6. Can someone read verse 6, please? 6 through 8.
Can you change the screen?
I need the screen up here because
And the
does somebody
sons
have
of,
your Bible?
yes, and the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Put in Canaan.
Okay, now watch this. It said the sons of Ham are who?
And the sons of Ham,
Mm-hmm.
Cush, and
Cush.
Mizraim, and Put in Canaan.
Okay, watch this, y'all. I'm going to show y'all this.
And the sons of Cush. Oh, keep going.
Wait, hold on real quick, because I want to write this in. I want to write this in, y'all. This is deep. And I think this one was Put. And Canaan.
P-H-U-T.
Oh, it's PH, okay. All right. Notice these 4 major nations are named after the sons of who?
Ham.
Son of Ham. Notice our map again. Here's Ham. And look on the map. We got all the players on the map. We got Mizraim or Egypt. That's what actually Egypt means. Is Mizraim in Hebrew. Look over to the left. We got Put. Then down at the bottom, of the purple, we got Cush. You see that? Then we got Canaan over here by himself to the right. You see that? Genesis 10, verse 6. All right, you can continue.
And the sons of Cush,
I think it was verse 7, I think.
7. And the sons of Cush, Seba, and Havilah, and Septa, and Ramah, and Septecha, and the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan. And Cush begat Nimrod.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. So watch this. Nimrod is Ethiopian. Come on and go with me here. Nimrod, I want to say that again. Nimrod is Ethiopian. Because he was a son of who?
Cush.
Don't play with me today. Don't play with me today, y'all. Nimrod is Ethiopian because he was the son of Cush, which in the scriptures simply means Ethiopian. Oh, come on. Now this, remember I said that Pharaoh was the father. I'm sorry, that Nimrod was the father of Pharaoh. I'm gonna show and prove. I'm gonna show and prove. I'm gonna show and prove. Where's my source? Okay. Okay. Y'all ready for this? Sister, we're gonna keep reading, but I need to make a pit stop.
Okay.
And the pit stop we're gonna make together is in Micah. Hold on. Let me change my font. Okay, let's go to Micah 5 and 6. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna go there on my I'm gonna share this screen. So what do we say? Micah chapter 5, verse 6. All right, it says this. And they shall waste the land of Assyria, which is also better known as the land of Sumer, or the land of Ur of the Chaldees. Now, who was from Ur of the Chaldees?
Abraham.
That's the same area as Assyria. Now watch this. And they shall waste the land of Assyria with the sword and the land of Nimrod. Please write that down. The land of Nimrod, in the entrance thereof. Now, where is the land of Nimrod? We're going to get to that. Thus shall he deliver us from the Assyrian, when he cometh into our land, and when he treadeth within our borders. Now watch this. We got to go to a different translation. That's one translation. Hold on. Bibles. Okay, we're going to see this. We're going to show and prove. Hold on. Okay, look at these two translations, y'all. These two in the right here. And they have afflicted the land of Ashur with a sword, and the land of Nimrod at its opening, and he hath delivered from Ashur, and he doth come into our land, and when he treadeth in our borders. Okay. Now watch this. I need to show you this. This is going to be a very interesting study when I get to it. Okay, hold on. Notice these other two passages said Ashur. Okay. This one here says they will rule the land of Ashur with the sword. So watch this. Another translation, and they shall waste the land of Assyria with the sword and the land of Nimrod. Okay, so they're calling Assyria Ashur. I want y'all to see that. Now, what's the other passage? First Chronicles 1 and 10. Look at this, y'all. This is a repeat of what we just read. And Cush, or Ethiopia, begot Nimrod. He, speaking of Nimrod, began to be mighty upon the earth. And then watch this. And Mizraim begot Ludum, Anamim, Lehabim, and Naphtuhim. Now we're going to get to this, but I want to show you in the book of Genesis. We're going to get back to it. But give me 1 second. I want to check one more thing first. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I want to make sure I have this correct before I say. Okay, I'm going to have to come back to that. I'm going to have to come back to it because I thought I had it, and I don't want to say things that are not necessarily true, and that, well, not, I shouldn't say necessarily true, but I can't prove them. All right. And so I'm going to come back to this point that I'll be making. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. And I will come back to this point of Nimrod, the father of the pharaohs. Okay, I'm going to come back to that point. We'll put a star next to it, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to say needs more attention. Y'all not going to get me out here making claims and no proof. Oh, no. I'm going to have to do more study on Micah 5 and 6 and First Chronicles. But I'm also going to look at the Targums in Aramaic. Okay. All right. Sister, did you finish Genesis 6 through 8?
Let me check.
Oh, yeah.
Was that 10? What was that?
Yep, chapter 10, verse 8.
Yeah, and Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth.
Okay, now remember we said, I did say this. Cush is Ethiopia, so he begat Nimrod. So we know Nimrod was an Ethiopian. Are y'all with me?
Yes.
Now watch this. Go to verse 9, because we're going to look at the nations that Nimrod, the Ethiopian, built. Okay, so let's go to verse 9.
He was a mighty hunter before the Lord, wherever it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord.
Okay, verse 10.
And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel and
Okay,
Eric.
hold on real quick. He said the beginning of his kingdom. That means the start of his kingdom was Babel. Remember, we looked at Babel when they were building, as we said, that mighty ziggurat, or that huge structure all the way up to Yah, all the way up to the sky.
Yes.
Okay, so that was the beginning of his kingdom. And then where else did it say?
He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Okay. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel and Eric and Akkad and Calneh in the land of Shinar.
Okay, stop right there. I want to show you guys this. Look at all these kingdoms that he built. Nineveh, Akkad, the land of Shinar. He built all of this up, guys. Do you see that? It said it right there in verse 10. Chapter 10, verse 10. Calneh. Look at Calneh, Eric, Akkad, in the land of Shinar. He built all the land of Shinar. Do you guys see that on the map there?
Yes.
This is Nimrod is responsible for building this in order. Remember, it said at the beginning of his kingdom. So that means he started with these nations. All right, keep going.
Out of that land went forth Asher and builded Nineveh and the city Rehoboth and Calah.
Okay, now verse 11 says, and of that land went forth Asher. Now, remember, we showed that in one of the translations, Asher is simply the same name as Nimrod. We just showed that in one of the translations. So Nimrod also built, he's going by the name of Asher here, but he also built Nineveh. And also the city of Rehoboth. What's up, y'all? We in the house. All right, verse 12.
And Rezin between Nineveh and Calah, the same as a great city.
Now watch this. Remember, these are all cities that he built and developed. Remember, he was a mighty warrior in the land. He went around conquering and building all of these nations we're reading about. But watch this, y'all. Watch what verse 13 says. Because he continues to build these great cities.
And Mizraim begat Ludum and Anamim and Lehabim and Naphtuhim.
Okay. All right. Keep going all the way to 15.
And Pathrusim and Kozluhim, out of whom came Philistim and
Notice that.
Capsaim.
Notice Philistim is also for the Philistines, guys.
Yeah.
The Philistines came out of who? Mizraim. Who is Mizraim?
Egypt.
Ethiopia. Oh, Egypt.
Cush is Ethiopia. Mizraim is, hold on, I wrote it right here, y'all.
Egypt.
Yes. It's right here. Okay. Cush is Ethiopia. Mizraim is Egypt. Put is Libya. But watch this. Let's keep going.
And Rezin, And Canaan begat Sidon, his firstborn, in Heth.
Okay, watch this.
And
Notice
the
the
Jebusites.
word. Oh, wait, hold on. That's okay. Notice Canaan begot Sidon. Please write that down. That's verse 15. Genesis 10:15. Canaan begot Sidon. Now remember, we're going to go back to Hannibal now. I haven't forgot. That's one of my points that I'm making. Remember we said that Hannibal was a Phoenician? Now I'm going to show you that Phoenicia, I already showed you the land of Phoenicia, right? Yes, I did. The land of Phoenicia. Look at this, y'all. Look at these.
Change the screen.
Oh, thank you. So the land of Phoenicia, look at all these people. Sidon. You see that? All of these people that were in Genesis 10 are making up what is called Phoenicia. These were all Phoenicians. Tyre, Sidon, Arwad. All of these. Look at this, guys. Same thing we're reading about here. Canaan begot Sidon, his firstborn Heath. Now watch this. And the Jebusites, the Amorite, the Girgashite, the Hivite, the Archite, and the Sinite. Verse 18. And the Aradite, and the Zimmerite, and the Hamathite. And afterwards were the families, here it is, the families of the Canaanites. Watch this, y'all. And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon. Look at all this. Sidon, thou comest to Gerar, unto Gaza, as thou goest unto Sodom and Gomorrah and Admah and Zeboim, even unto Lasha. Now let's go back. Look at all of these. Gaza, there it is. Sidon, there it is. All of these areas tell us that they were Phoenicians. Watch this. So that means this, y'all. Hannibal came out of Cush, which comes out of Ham, which makes Hannibal not only a Phoenician from the land of Tunisia, which is ancient. Oh my goodness. What do we say ancient Tunisia's name was? Here it is right here. Ancient Tunisia. What is that ancient land called?
Carthage, right?
Carthage. Come on and go with me. Carthage was a Phoenician colony. There we go. And we know from the scripture that the area of Phoenicia included not only modern day Tunisia, which is Carthage, but here we go. Sidon, Tyre. And we read in Genesis 10 that Cush was the son of Ham. He was the son of Mizraim. Sorry, the father of Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan was Ham. And we read down here that Canaan is the father of Sidon, which is a Phoenician city that was built by Nimrod. Wow. Wow. Amazing. Cush begot Nimrod. He was mighty on the earth. And he began to build all these cities. Verse 8, Cush begot Nimrod, and he was mighty in the earth, and he began to build all these cities. From Babel all the way to the land of Shinar. This entire area. That we just showed you. Which includes this entire area. This is some amazing stuff. Now, Canaan, verse 15, is the father of Sidon. I want y'all to see this now. I'm going over this because I want you to see this connection and proof that Hannibal, who was a Phoenician, came out of Cush, who is African, so-called black man. Guys, I'm closing when I share this last thing. The Sidonians, people of Sidon that came from Cush. Are y'all with me? That came from Canaan. Okay? Canaan was one of the sons of Cush. Let's go to Joel 3:4. Because the Bible refers to the Sidonians as Canaanites. Joel 3:4. Joel 3. Let's start in verse 1. For behold, in those days, in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre? Here it is, and Sidon. Now we know that Sidon also, I want to show you this again, because I don't want you to forget this. That Sidon, remember Genesis 10 and 15? He was a son of Canaan. So Sidon was a Canaanite. Do y'all see that? Y'all see that? Sidon in verse 15 there was a Canaanite. Which were Phoenicians, which spoke Phoenician, which used lettering that is exactly the same lettering as Hebrew, Paleo-Hebrew, and Aramaic. Watch this. Last scripture. Let's go to Matthew chapter 15, verse 21. Matthew 15, verse 21. Remember the Syro-Phoenician woman? Come on and go with me here. Then Yeshua went thence. Hold on. Remember the Syro-Phoenician woman? Then Yeshua went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan come on and go with me, came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. Watch this. But he answered her not a word, and his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Which shows what? This Syro-Phoenician woman, this Canaanite woman, was from who? Ham. Ham, y'all. Ham begot Cush. Cush begot, watch this, Cush begot Nimrod. Cush also begot, hold on, where are we at? Hold on. Oh, yeah, so we have the sons of Ham, which is Africa, so-called black people, melanated people, not Europeans. Ham begot Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. So let's go back to our scripture. Behold, a woman of Canaan. She was a Hamite, y'all. She was a so-called black woman. She was melanated. Yeshua went and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon, where this Canaanite black woman lived. Watch this. Who Hannibal is a descendant. My goodness. So we can see, and we showed and proved today through language, through geography, that one of the hidden figures indirectly related to Chanukah through a military tactic of using elephants, influenced Antiochus to use elephants on our ancestors to destroy their land. Hannibal is a hidden figure indirectly of Chanukah. We just found out that this man, this melanated man, this so-called black man, this Canaanite, this Hamite, came from the loins of Ham. My goodness. My goodness. So there's no way. And by the way, he spoke a Semitic language. That's the second proof. And Semitic languages are not European ghoulish languages that come from southern France, northern Italy. And guess what? English didn't come until 400 to 500, 600 years later. So we know he wasn't from England. We know he wasn't British. We know he wasn't French. He wasn't German. He wasn't Italian. No, he was a Semitic. And his ancestors were from Cush. His ancestors were from Ham. He was a melanated man, a so-called black man. And he was indeed an ancestor And watch this. If Ham and Shem were brothers, through blood, we can say he was one of us. However, he was not a Shemite like we are. Blessings, blessings, questions, comments, any concerns, anything that came to mind. Blessings. I hope you were blessed, y'all. Questions? No questions?
No, not at this time.
All right.
Blessings.
I present a lot of information. I pray that it sticks. If you desire, you want the presentation, just send me a text, y'all, and I will send it to you.
Can you send it, please?
Oh, yes.
A non-editable document.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Blessings to those who are here with me in the building. Blessings to those who are watching by way of Facebook and YouTube. We welcome you. We thank you for joining with us today, tagging along with us.
Oh, yes. Please say hello to Dewdrop 79. That is Brandy, my friend you met at Davis football game from Alabama.
Oh, yeah, that was Dewdrops. Thank you for the I was saying D3W. That's Dewdrop 79. West Point reference. Thank you. Thank you, Sister Brandy. Blessings to you and your family too. Yeah, if you guys have any, listen, guys, if there are any corrections, if there's anything that was said that was off, listen, I'm humble enough to know that what I know, but what I don't know, I'm open to be corrected. So please, we welcome your insight, your knowledge. Please share that with us if you found anything that was inaccurate. And we thank you and we praise Yah for you. Blessings. Shabbat Shalom to you and your family
Blessings.
too. Blessings.